Hey guys, RC here, back with another settlement build review. This is a little further along in Sanctuary, and I guess I need to go back and see exactly what I've posted, but we'll do a full walkthrough of this one because I believe I am just about done with the basic build, and all we need to do is flesh it out a little bit. First off, I have gone in and I have transferred settlers. You can see I have 31 people here. So if we look at the map, I've got 4 at Red Rocket. So I went to Red Rocket, rang the bell, got them all gathered up, and then assigned almost all of them to come to Sanctuary to max out this settlement. And so I had to come in here and spend a little time building it up. So we've gotten up to 31 beds. So let's kind of start out at the bridge, I suppose. So the first thing when you come in, you notice I have sealed off this entrance into the backside of town using some junk fences, sinking them into the ground, and we have closed that area off. I have also used a junk fence to seal off this driveway and access area between these 2 houses, and that is so they can use this house for sleeping and whatnot without having to expose the entrance to being attacked. Now, one of the things that I did, and I did not mean to initially, but you know, is I scrapped the entire house, several of the junk houses that were completely junked out, and I have since decided I don't like doing that, but it's already done. So this house, you can see I have not fixed it up very much. We do not have any beds in here, so this house is basically off limits. I guess there's some chairs, so they're utilizing it, but if they come out, they, you know, pay the price. Whoa, hello. They had another one. Cool. And you'll see these are growing yellow. That's actually a mod that I have, which I really like, especially at night for small things. So this house, very similar. I have not done anything to this house from a living standpoint, keeping it off limits basically. And the reason I do that is because there's a spawn point here, and there's really no way to keep the bad guys from getting to these houses. So this is where we set up our gateway, and again you can see I have sealed off the entrance to this house, and I have replaced this gate with just fencing with a turret for targeting. So that's kind of the outskirts of town, and again, unfortunately I destroyed these houses, but it is what it is. So here you can see that junk fence along the way that gives access into the house, and we have beds in there. And we'll come up the main street, and then we'll cover the back parts of the house. Same thing over here. We've got this fence, but you have access into the house for living. I have not replaced my house, and I do that for sentimental reasons. They can come in and hang out and you know, sit down, but I am not going to build beds. They are not allowed to sleep there. He has decided to take up residence on the roof. That's cool. This is a workhouse. I don't, yeah, no beds in here. This is where I have another mod. This desk allows you to create salvage beacons, and then you can drop gear into a, and I guess I can cover some mods here while I'm doing this. But you can create these salvage beacons, and you drop one into any locker that you can transfer to in the Commonwealth, and when you exit out, it sends out a notification to your workstation for them to send out a provisioner, a trader, to pick up your loot. So basically you can just continually quest or do whatever you're doing, without having to come back and drop off all your junk and gear. Really helps out with the immersion of the game. Vaults tech, unfortunately, with the little raised sections, this does not look great, but I think it gives it that kind of junky look that goes good. And I've sunk in a general store here with the open sign. We have a bed in here for the trader, and I have gotten the Vault Tech rep here. We have Doc's Place. I have enclosed this garage area, and we've just put one of these dual doorways without putting doorways in. And we basically have the garage as the back wall. Down here we've made this general storage, file keeping, wheelchair, files, the place to wash your hands, and a surgical cart, a workbench, which is the actual clinic bench that works great for this type of setting rather than this style clinic like we used for the trader. And then on this side we have a couple of surgical beds. We've got the surgical tray and the clipboard for notes, bone saw for operating, and some utensils that we put on there. We've got a scanner. We've got a terminal for inputting some data for the doctor. We've got chems under each bed. We have radiation for x-rays and whatnot up there. We've got power coming in here, so that's kind of neat looking. I liked the way that came out. And that is Doc's Place. And again, we just enclosed the carport here. This house was unusable, so what I've done is I have added on. Actually, no, I take that back. The house is usable, but the door's on the front. But I actually added on a second story, and I'm actually pretty happy with this section. I wanted to try something different because typically, I end up doing just a big open area or maybe two areas. In here, now this came up through from the roof. It's in the way a little bit, but you can walk over it, no big deal. So in here we've got a couple of beds. I put this extension out to be able to get some more area in here. I couldn't get that bed any farther in. I could probably post or rug glitch it in there, but right now I was just trying to finish. This one doesn't, I actually had to put these walls in one at a time from outside with the post glitch. And, this was kind of an area that didn't match up, but I left it because I thought, hey, they're just throwing this together, and that's the best they could do with their skills. We've got a little sitting area and eating area here, and another bedroom area here with a couple of lights. So that's nothing unusual. This area, I don't know what I'm going to do with. I may put a wall there and make another room. And this is what I was kind of going for, was these individual rooms, but I said, man, that's going to be kind of complicated. And I came up with this idea because if you look at the regular houses, they actually have the interior walls and make individual rooms, and the rooms are about 1.5 by 1 on the on the size. So basically another half grid out in either direction, and you'd have about the size of a room in one of the houses. So this is what I was kind of going for, and after I finagled this one into place, I went, man, that's going to be complicated. So I made a larger room and figured, we can do some dormitory type stuff here, leave an eating area here, and then this is the area that I was really... Why did that pop out? Well, I didn't realize it would do that. Okay. And I need to sink that in a little bit more. I didn't check that before I started. where did it go? Alright, I need to put that back in, so bear with me here. See, it's disappearing. I don't know where it's going. Huh. Well, I will figure that out later on and get that back on. So anyway, in here I put the dividing wall. We've got a couple of toilets in here, toilet paper, a urinal, sinks on each side, mirrors, and that was pretty cool. And then with this other space, I glitched in these walls and the curtains, and we actually have a little two bathing areas. We've got a tub, shower head, soap, shaving tray, a newspaper rack that they can hang their newspaper on to read while they soak, a couple of towel hooks to dry towels, and basically the same amenities on this side. So I thought that was kind of cool. I really liked the way that came out. And again, I had to glitch in every one of these every one of these interior walls. This one I had to take a half wall and sink it into this half wall to have room to be able to walk out. So now this one actually went into the wall. I don't know why that one's not. Alright, well, what I may have to do is put the other sink over here and try to move the urinal to this wall. But anyway, that was something I was really excited about. Not really happy with the door because you can close each door and then it doesn't appear. I guess that's what I was looking at. That's too bad. There's my doctor. I gave her a doctor's coat for a lab coat. You have to do that for your doctors before you assign them to the clinic. Just a heads up. Again, the existing house, we put a few beds in here. Nothing fancy. I still need to come back and do a lot of power in the houses. This one I think I put a little power in. So we've got this little landing here upstairs, and this is kind of my normal house. You know, I build the open floor plan, put a few beds in, and I guess I could have crammed a few more beds, but I wanted them to kind of have their own area. And eventually what I want to do is decorate this middle with some seating, and this will be kind of like the party room. I may try to put a gaming table up here. We'll definitely, this is a heat source from the house below, so this is kind of like its interior fireplace. I'll put some chair. At least that's how I'm playing it in my head. I'll put a few chairs around here. We'll have a table over here where they can eat at. So anyway, that's that house. This one we put a couple of beds in, just two. I tried not to overcrowd it, and of course we left we left pretty much everything intact. We have a spawn point back here, and I just wanted to build something a little different. I hadn't seen anything like this. I just wanted, I came across these curved concrete walls, and I just wanted to give those a try. So basically it's just the concrete walls placed with a little gap to walk in, and then these small half pallets linked up to this bridge support back here. And I had a stairway up there to put the guns, but I have my turrets up there for defense. And you know what? My light's not working. I wonder if I'm low on juice. I may be. I'll have to go build another generator, I suppose. Oh, you know what? I never put... I know what it is. I can fix that right now. And see if that fixed it up for us. Yes, it did. I just hadn't wired it yet. And again, I tore down this one house. We'll finish over here with the houses real quick, and then we'll come in the back. Couple more beds, another bed in here. I want to come back now that these are done. I want to put doors on all the houses. This is a house that unfortunately I tore down. I was planning on doing a second floor like I had done before. One of the mods that I have allows me to actually build a sanctuary replica house without a roof. So I just put the regular roofing on it. But it does have the large kitchen, living room here. You've got the laundry room that goes here. This is basically the same house that that you lived in. The bathroom, not well. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Not quite. There's the house that had the safe in it that was rigged to explode, and the desk in the corner. This looks just like that one. Basically the same layout. So I was able to. I just threw this in real quick to get a few more beds in here to get to the 31 beds that I wanted. Alright, so that is our housing situation. So beds are done. I want to then come back and do start doing some decorating. We've got our fusion generator here. We've got our water purifiers cranking away. I've put a couple of missile turrets and a spotlight up to catch anybody coming in over the river. I even came out and I kind of built a cofferdam out here partway through the river to kind of keep people from, when they're fording, from getting directly there. And keeping them out in the line of fire for our missile turrets. So I hope that works. I think I'm going to end up having to skip a section here and building farther down here, or maybe even on the other side as we extend our water farm, if we do that. I have taken these two pieces of land on the back side of this house and the workshop house and made that a farming area. So we've got potatoes, we've got gourds, I'm sorry, mute fruit, corn, and right now that's about it. I did start planting some carrots in planters, and I'm doing that on the driveway across the street at the character's house. Excuse me. Coming back up on the back side of this house gets us back up to the main street where the Sanctuary Hill sign is, and you can see how we've closed that off. So I can actually bring farming all the way back up into this corner. And then I really haven't done anything on the other side. So I mean, I have all of this area I can do stuff with. And I have not really done anything on this side other than seal it off. I've taken any gaps in the fence all the way down to the spawn point back in the back by the cul-de-sac, and I have closed that off. So anybody that comes in from that spawn point, they're either going to have to go up and through the gate into town, or they're going to have to go all the way down and around and come up into that killing zone there. I have set up the chairs back here to give a little seating area, and I take that back. I do have to come down here and do some of this area because this spawn point is down there, or right in this area, I guess. The hardest part with this house was it's right up against the edge. I think this is the house that does that. Yeah, see, I'm outside the build zone right there. I can't even. There it is. Yep, so anything on the other side of that. And so you can see some of this was actually already outside the build zone. I had to pull that down and build it off location and then bring it in. So that was a little complicated, but nothing too major. So that is my Sanctuary Hills settlement. We've incorporated some expansion onto the existing houses. I would like to have been able to do that on the other houses. Unfortunately, I junked them. And if I could have done that, or if I do that in the future, then I think what I'll do is I may try to do what I did with the bathroom, with that area up here, and kind of try to make individual rooms, kind of like you have in the houses. And you can kind of look, I mean, that's only about a 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5 room that they've got bedrooms in here. So, it's really hard to replicate that in the settlement building, with what we have. But Doc's Place, we've got our own clinic, we've got our general store, Vaults Tech. I have another one, I've named it Nick's Knacks. But I named this one Vaults Tech because the Vault Tech rep is my guy there. So that is it for Sanctuary Hills. Thanks for checking it out. Look forward to hearing any comments that you might have, and we'll see you next time.